Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Greer Industries, improving people's lives for more than a century.
Thanks for tuning in. Meteorologist Joe Ansel here with your latest on a Tuesday. In Charleston, started June with some slightly cooler than average temps. Had a low of 52 and a high of 76. Average high yesterday is 79. What the radar may look like starting at 1 o'clock local time. Southeastern areas, foothills, high elevations, spots near the Allegheny, generally southeast West Virginia. There is another chance of some isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorm activity today. This will be our last opportunity of rain for a while. Some areas of patchy dense fog possible again and dry overnight into tomorrow morning. The main front as well south of us. There's a trough extending north of that over us. That'll be just hanging on barely before high pressure builds in from the north and will be dry and warm and sunny for a while after today. Fly Survey forecast, it starts at home. Washington, D.C., 70s today, 80s tomorrow, near 88 on Thursday. Tampa, chance of showers and storms, high near 92. From Panhandle to Panhandle, low chance of an afternoon shower in southeast areas, mostly dry up here to the north with highs in the 70s. Fair tonight with lows near 50. For today, highs in the 60s and 70s out east. Again, some southeastern areas of the state. I'll watch for a chance of some shower and some thunderstorms this afternoon. And then drying out overnight, lows near 50. From east to west, 60s and 70s. Chance of showers and storms in southeastern portions of the state today. Lows in the ranks of the mid-40s to near 50. To the south, most favored for some afternoon showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, this evening, and then quickly fizzling out overnight tonight with some areas of dense fog possible for the morning. For the rest of the week, starting tomorrow, warmer temps, sunshine, highs mid-80s, maybe approaching 90 by the end of the week. Then our next potential round of some showers and storms later for the weekend. Saturday night, Sunday, another chance on Monday, high near 85.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Live from West Virginia's capital city with news from across the state. This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and Metro News' Dave Allen.
Welcome into the 2 o'clock hour, final hour on this Tuesday of Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Dave Allen in the host chair, Ryan Nichols and Stephanie Pauly, our producers today. Open line West Virginia coming up after 2:30, 1-800-765-TAOK, or text 304-TALK-304. It's Metro News Midday.
Metro News Midday is presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com. Join in by calling 800-765-8255 or text 304-TALK-304. Let's go live to downtown Charleston. Here's Dave Allen.
It's Tuesday afternoon across the great state of West Virginia. Metro News Midday powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Ryan Nichols and Stephanie Pauly, our producers today. Open line West Virginia coming up at the bottom of the hour. 1-800-765-TAOK is the phone number. You can text 304-TALK-304. Reminder that tomorrow is Wednesday, which means we spotlight another wonderful West Virginian, somebody just doing good stuff in their community. Drop us an email midday at wvmetronews.com. Somebody working with youth sports, with veterans issues, animal issues, whatever, the recovery community. If they're doing good stuff, we want to hear about it. Drop us an email midday at wvmetronews.com, or you can reach out to either Amanda or myself on social media. For me, it's Dave Allen Radio on Facebook or at DaveA70 on X. Want to welcome into the show now political consultant John Findlay. How you doing, my friend? Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Dave.
Is this the first time? I know it's the first time you've been on Midday. Have I interviewed you in the past? We've known each other for a while.
Well, there was that issue with the my chairman a couple of years ago. You wanted to get me on, but I wasn't going to go on for that.
Okay, all right. I couldn't remember. I know I've known you for a while, but I couldn't remember whether I've had you on the show or not. All right, let's get right to it. The primary election, just a couple of weeks ago, not even a month or so ago. It was a somewhat contentious primary election. The Republican Party.
I'm glad you brought it up. Because it was contentious. Mm-hmm. I'd call the last 3 weeks leg day because the Tacubo folks and the chamber are working really hard to shift the goalposts.
Okay,
to what happened.
Okay,
they went, and it was contentious because they recruited 9 candidates against incumbent conservative senators. That's totally unprecedented. For an analogy in the House, that would be like Governor Morrissey recruiting 26 challenges to House members.
Okay.
Just a huge percentage that they recruited against. They raised money, they allied with the unions, spent over $1 million. And on this radio station, you had people coming on bragging, our candidates are superior. We're raising so much money. People don't care about social issues. We're gonna gain seats. They lost every single race that they challenged incumbents in. And then they lost an open seat. Instead of gaining ground, they lost ground tremendously. And so, and now they're just scrambling, oh, nothing changed. Oh, it was the primaries being closed, because they just can't accept like adult responsibility for failing miserably. So
the primary being closed. That was a decision that was made by the Republican Executive Committee.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But it's honestly a red herring.
Okay.
It's a red herring. It's because here's an example.
All right.
The chamber endorsed previously in these Republican primaries. The most of their endorsers that ever lost a Republican primary was 3. 3 weeks ago, last Tuesday or on Tuesday, they lost 10. You were better off not being endorsed by the chamber than being endorsed by them. A majority of their endorsed candidates lost. Totally unprecedented. So instead of being like, usually they put out a victory statement saying, hey, we won. This time it's, it's like you tell a kid, hey, don't drink soda before bed. They go in to drink the soda, they wet the bed, and then they wake up and they're like, it was a monster. It was, you guys gave me milk yesterday. No. Be a man. Own that you failed. And now what they want to do, it's actually really I'm angry about it. I know you can tell that, Dave, but I'm angry because you have people out there who the chamber's never endorsed Donald Trump. They've never given a red cent to the West Virginia Republican Party. The Republican Party is made up of grassroots activists all over the state. They do the hard work of recruiting poll workers, knocking the doors. And what does the chamber do? Instead of owning up to their own failure, they're going and attacking grassroots activists, grandpas and grandmas who earn no money from this for a decision that didn't affect the outcome. That's like saying, you're dealing with flat earthers here. Like the closing the primary had nothing to do with any of their losses. It had they decided to spend $1 million going after conservative state senators instead of going and spending money on behalf of their Supreme Court picks.
Are you concerned now, though, and I've talked to, John, I've talked to several Republicans about this, including the party chair and others, about the fracturing of the party and trying to put it all back together because there's still a general election.
No, there absolutely is. You're right. I am worried. They started, one side started a war of choice, they had a war that was not necessary. So then we had to spend money defending ourselves. Like Tom DeCubo with Chris Pritt, we wouldn't have recruited him if he didn't try and challenge 9 of our candidates. And that was the only incumbent that I represent Randy Smith's outside group, that Randy Smith went after at all. So, is there a concern? Sure. But I've been through a lot of primaries. It takes around a month for everyone to rally together. But how we rally together is to accept and be on the same page of reality rather than going and pretending like, oh, it's the party's fault. That's not what you do. You're going to blame these hardworking grassroots activists for something that had nothing to do with those losses. Here's why their chosen Supreme Court candidates lost, because that's the big boogeyman. Oh, our Supreme Court candidates lost. They got outspent. The only close one was the Titus race. That one was a 5-point race. Titus got late money. That was comparable. He still got outspent pretty horribly. But the Ewing race, they just got totally outspent. That was a 17-point blowout because Flanagan spent $1 million. Ewing only had like $250,000. And then on top of it, the outside groups, plaintiffs' attorneys and stuff came into that and spent money. And the chamber was, spending money so Stephen Eschenauer could finish third and, Bob Fehrenbacher could lose by 22 points.
Are you concerned, though, about, and I've had people that don't follow this stuff, John, as closely as what we do, which is kind of what we do for a living, just the regular folks out there, the people that are the working men, working women, or whatever. Are you concerned at all about the ugly tone that this election took? And I'm not talking about pointing fingers, but I'm just saying with the mailers and things of that nature. I mean, does that concern you, you and your folks in Belize?
No, because this is how it is in every other state in the country. I mean, we have what's called the Republican Party of Virginia has what I call first world problems. Okay, we're in the super majority, top 5 states overall in terms of our percentage Republicans. So the battle isn't usually in the general election. It's in the general election, a handful of seats across the state. It's in the primary. And so having a lot of mailers, that's standard practice in most of these states.
But it's not about the mailers as much as it is about, because, I mean, trust me, I make my living on advertising, so you're never going to hear me trash advertising, okay? But it's about the tone of some of them. I mean, you know, it was alleged that in some of them there was darkening of skin of people, and that they were saying that people were aligning themselves with Pelosi and AOC and things of that nature. Does that bother you?
No, I mean, people had here's the problem that they had, and why we were able to win in most of these races that we were involved in, is they recruited people that were former Democrat. They either had bad voting records, were former Democrats, had donated to Democrats. That was literally all the challengers that were recruited. Instead of being these A-plus people, these were all liberals that they recruited. So, to expose their record, I mean, most of those attacks were totally fair. Like, Stephen Eschenauer was complaining and whining about, us calling him woke. He leads the Kanawha County Health Department, right? On their website today, this is the department that he leads. It says, is committed to ensuring diversity, equity, and inclusion in all aspects of what we do in our clinic. Like, it's a medical clinic. We have the highest obesity rate in the country. We have high heart attack rates. And, he's leading an department that's focused on DEI? Give me a break.
I mean, but when you say DEI, I mean, I think you and I both know the negative connotation that gives. But you can also use the words without being in all capitals DEI, for example. You can say Black Lives Matter, for example, because in some people's eyes that's got a negative connotation, in lowercase letters. Does that make any sense what I'm trying to say?
No, not at all, really.
No, okay.
I mean, no.
Fair enough,
Listen, he's woke. He was woke. He led a woke department. Like, we called him woke. We only spent, his outside group spent 130-some K on his race. We came in late to knock down him because he was the pro-Tacubo candidate. We spent like $50,000 and just demolished him, from rising up, because we exposed the fact that he had a woke agenda, that he was spending your public tax dollars promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Okay.
I mean, so again, if they should have done their own Oppo research on their candidates and probably said to the guy, hey, this hit's going to come. We need to inoculate you from it. They didn't do any of that. And so, he finished in a distant third place. Probably can't run for office again.
You say, though, again, we're talking with John Findlay, you say that this is the way that it happens in every state. And yeah, I mean, trust me, you're correct. A couple of weeks, I was in Georgia a couple of weeks ago. I was actually in Georgia on the day of their election. Yeah. And I saw some ads down there in some different races. Their election was held after hours. I had a walkthrough down in Texas. Yeah, 2 days before their thing. Yeah. And that was the issue, is that the problem is that, like, I was on the Trump campaign 2 years ago. Jimmy Cady, who was on the inside, has done multiple campaigns. Like, we know how Republican primaries are won. We know what they want to talk about. The problem is that you had people that didn't know how to run races saying, oh, the only thing that people care about is jobs. They only care about jobs, and we have superior candidate quality. And no, our voters, Donald Trump is leader of the party, no matter what TJ Meadows says. Okay. I don't think anybody would.
He was on yesterday being like, oh, he's not being in charge. Oh, I love Thomas Massey, blah, blah, blah. And so the issue is that our voters like social issues. They are concerned about social issues. They love Donald Trump. And at the end of the day, Tom Tacubo, who was going to run on jobs, sent out a text message the last week of the election claiming he was endorsed by Donald Trump, and did an ad claiming he never voted for gender altering drugs. I mean, so it's like they finally woke up a week before the election.
But to be fair, wasn't that, now correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't that because he wanted to keep the college aspect out of it? He didn't want to regulate he didn't want the NCAA.
And if 3 more people had voted like he did in his very principled stance, which was honestly totally cowardly, then we wouldn't have a law on the books preventing boys from playing in women's sports, boys from playing girls' sports. I mean, so no, it was a cop-out. He did it because he got pressured by the chamber, who also, by the way, like two people, some groups that we couldn't have done this without. With the outside groups, we coordinated with AFP and the governor's team, couldn't have the majority without them. But also, we couldn't be in this situation without the chamber forcing Republicans to the left repeatedly over the past decade. You probably would have Mitch Carmichael still as Senate president if they didn't force him to take that terrible vote on RFRA. Craig Blair would probably still be Senate president if they didn't force that terrible vote on boys and girls sports and trans drugs. Okay? But they went and they pushed their candidates far to the left. And now, I mean, their bad actions are why will have no influence in the Senate coming up, because they've tried to primary all the conservatives in the Senate. I mean, it's amazing.
Are you concerned, though, you and others of that are with your mindset? And it's not a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. Are you concerned, though, that maybe it's going too far right?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
simple yes or no, and you answered
we
it.
are the second most conservative state in the entire country. Nearly 70% of our people gave Donald Trump. They want the reason why we have Patrick Morrisey, the reason why we have our majorities in the state Senate is because we wanted bold conservative reforms. It's why we have. I mean, it's why Shelley Moore Capito's leadership in Washington. She has been one of the most vocal advocates for Donald Trump's agenda. It's why
True.
They elected her with such wide margins. We have voters that want to do conservative things in the state.
Okay, so let's move forward now, and let's get to the general election. There are Democrats on the ballot. How involved are you going to be in the general election?
We're going to be very involved.
Okay.
I mean, now we do have concerns. I mean, if our candidates are going to listen to consultants that have terrible losing records, and don't know how to run campaigns. Another fun fact: over 10% of Takubo faction candidates' spending was on billboards, which is like a totally obsolete form of advertising. So I mean, if they spend with outmoded messaging, with outmoded campaigns, I'm afraid that we're going to lose seats. We want to gain seats. We're going to be very active in the general election, supporting our Republican candidates. And I mean, I think we stand a good chance. But I mean, you kind of look historically, right, at what's happened. And that is the past 3 midterm elections, the Virginia legislature has followed the national headwinds. If Republicans gain seats, we gain seats. If Republicans are losing seats, we lose seats. The one exception was 2010. In 2010, with Joe Manchin at the top of the ticket, Democrats managed to gain some seats in the Senate. They lost some seats in the House, but it was a mixed bag there. We have Shelley Moore Capito at the top of the ticket. So, I mean, I think that will help us in the general election. But yeah, I mean, no, we're going to have to fundraise. We really hope that the outside groups, don't go and start funding Democrats in the general election.
Do you see that happening?
I mean, if they,
it's an odd time we live in a world of politics.
It's really an odd time. People were told that it was going to be a bad idea to challenge a bunch of conservative incumbents. You'd have to ask them. Maybe they'll, I don't know. Ask Greg Thomas if he'll be working for the Democrat Party in the fall. I mean, he wasn't going to work for the unions, and he worked with the unions last time, so maybe that'll happen.
John Findlay, appreciate you coming on the show today. Thanks a lot.
All right, have a good one.
You as well. It is 2:22. We will take a break, and we'll come back after this. Stay with us.
Picture a community where every space tells a story. Those are the communities we're designing at ZLM Architects and Engineers. With a blend of creativity and technical expertise, we design spaces that inspire, innovate, and ignite change. From cutting-edge educational facilities to community-centric gathering spaces, we're committed to improving lives through design. Let us help you shape a brighter future for generations to come. Because at ZLM, it's more than architecture. It's about building your legacy.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
What does it mean to lead in medicine? J.W. Ruby Memorial Hospital is the top hospital in West Virginia, nationally recognized for 3 programs in 18 procedures and conditions. But to us, leadership means being first in care, in lives saved, in lives restored. In medicine, we lead in the ways that truly matter.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
The 2026 High School Baseball State Championship. 4 classes, 4 champions, 1 unforgettable day. From first pitch to final out, the 2026 West Virginia High School Baseball State Championship, presented by Toyota, Saturday, June 13th. Watch live on Metro News Television, Facebook, and YouTube. Available on mobile, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Welcome back to the show. It is 2:26 on a Tuesday afternoon. Metro News Midday powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. We're heard all over the great state of West Virginia. Great radio stations like WKKX and WVLY in Wheeling, WSLW in White Sulphur Springs, WAJR in Morgantown, WEPM Martinsburg, WVW Logan, WKLP in Kaiser, WD&E in Elkins, WKMZ Clarksburg, WCHS, our flagship here in Charleston, and WJLS in Beckley. Following, the interview, and I appreciate John Findlay for coming in, and I wonder, and this is not meant to be partisan in any way. I certainly have my opinions on things, and people that have listened to me over the years on this show and others know what my opinions are on certain things. I just wonder if all of this, and this is not a shot at John Findlay, do not get me wrong, John, if you're listening, this is not about you. I'm talking about the whole system in general. And he made a point about the way that this is the way that primaries are run in other states. And he's absolutely right. As I said, I was in Georgia on vacation with my wife a couple of weeks ago on Election Day in the state of Georgia, which was a couple of weeks after our primary election here in West Virginia. Now, I don't know what the mailers look like down there because I didn't see any of that. I went to a lot of places when I was living it up on the beach. A post office was not one of them. But I can tell you what I heard on the radio, listening to stations down there, and I can tell you what I saw on television in the room watching some television. It was pretty nasty, just like it is here. And I just wonder if all of this is good for the political systems, whether it's Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative, or whatever. And I just wonder, when you see in West Virginia the low voter turnout that we had in the primary election, 21% or so, which was pretty much what was expected. Okay, that's pretty much, and spoiler alert, I'm going to stop you now, and I would never discourage anybody from voting. The voter turnout in November is going to be pretty darn low, too, in the general election. Just in other words, water's wet. But I just wonder if all of this and where we have come in politics is good for our system. Because, look, I'm from southern West Virginia, where we used to have I was a kid, but I can remember knockdown, drag out, ugly elections, radio commercials, billboards, ads in the local newspaper, so on and so forth. But the next day, everybody kind of got together. You've heard me say it before. Everybody gathered at the smokehouse in Logan, had a cup of coffee, in those days maybe a cigarette, and went on. The divisions that we saw in this last election, though, man, I don't know. I wonder, not to be Pollyanna-ish, but I just wonder, is all of this good for our society, and does it make more people with a voter turnout that was 21% just say, you know what, the heck with this, I'm not involved. I'm just saying, not my role to play political strategist. Just saying, I wonder sometimes if this is all healthy for our democracy. We'll take a break and come back after this. Stay with us. And now we'll go to the Metro News Anchor Desk for a check of local news. You're listening to Midday on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Greer Industries, improving people's lives for more than a century.
Thanks for tuning in. Meteorologist Joe Ansel here with your latest on a Tuesday. In Charleston, started June with some slightly cooler than average temps. Had a low of 52 and a high of 76. Average high yesterday is 79. What the radar may look like starting at 1 o'clock local time. Southeastern areas, foothills, high elevations, spots near the Allegheny, generally southeast West Virginia. There is another chance of some isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorm activity today. This will be our last opportunity of rain for a while. Some areas of patchy dense fog possible again and dry overnight into tomorrow morning. The main front as well south of us. There's a trough extending north of that over us. That'll be just hanging on barely before high pressure builds in from the north, and will be dry and warm and sunny for a while after today. Fly Sierra forecast, it starts at home. Washington, D.C., 70s today, 80s tomorrow, near 88 on Thursday. Tampa, chance of showers and storms, high near 92. From Panhandle to Panhandle, low chance of an afternoon shower in southeast areas, mostly dry up here to the north with highs in the 70s. Fair tonight with lows near 50. For today, highs in the 60s and 70s out east. Again, some southeastern areas of the state. I'll watch for a chance of some shower and some thunderstorms this afternoon. And then drying out overnight, lows near 50. From east to west, 60s and 70s. Chance of showers and storms in southeastern portions of the state today. Lows in the ranks of the mid-40s to near 50. To the south, most favored for some afternoon showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, this evening. And then quickly fizzling out overnight tonight, with some areas of dense fog possible for the morning. For the rest of the week, starting tomorrow, warmer temps, sunshine, highs mid-80s, maybe approaching 90 by the end of the week. Then our next potential round of some showers and storms later for the weekend. Saturday night, Sunday, another chance on Monday, high near 85.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
The 2026 High School Baseball State Championship. 4 classes, 4 champions, 1 unforgettable day. From first pitch to final out, the 2026 West Virginia High School Baseball State Championship, presented by Toyota. Saturday, June 13th. Watch live on Metro News Television, Facebook, and YouTube. Available on mobile, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs. With Metro News Hotline. If it's trending, it's probably here.
So it's Dennis, it's Rodman degrees out there today.
Oh, that sounds really uncomfortable.
I know it does. I know it does.
Is that legal? Is that past FCC? I don't know if you're allowed to say anything's Rodman something. That's
it's Rodman degrees.
That's like saying it's awful Diddy out there. I don't know that we can do that.
Yeah. Join Dave Weekly and Coop weekdays for Hotline on Metro News Television.
This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com.
Welcome back to the show. 26 away from 3 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon. Metro News Midday powered by Salango Law. Visit SalangoLaw.com. Ryan Nichols and Stephanie Pauly are our producers today. 1-800-765-TALK. That is a phone number you can text. 304-TALK-304. Open line West Virginia text says, it was a great night to be a Mountaineer last night. Let's go. Yeah. It was indeed, and it's been a great couple days in Morgantown. And just, I guess, to hear the national correspondents on the SEC Network and then later on ESPN talking about the whole vibe in Morgantown around this baseball team up there and everything from, the hill and Granville and the stadium and the country roads and the so on and so forth. Look, I'm somebody, I've said this before, you know me. I'm a big believer in you can cheer for both Marshall and WVU until they play each other. I'm a Marshall guy, bleed Kelly Green, but I'm going to tell you what, I about came off the couch a couple times cheering for the Mountaineers the last couple of nights. And it's just a great vibe. Now, the Mountaineers next will take on Cal Poly, and this will be the first time that they've actually hosted a super regional, and they got a good chance, and I know that Coach Sabins is probably saying, Dave, shut up. But they have a good chance of heading out to Omaha. And how cool would that be for the entire state of West Virginia if that were to happen? 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Text says, I prefer this type of data center, a public library. It says a texter. Text, all potholes reported were not filled. The 3 on my county route are as wide as my road. I was told they would be done by the end of the month. Yeah, we talked to Brent Walker, the communications director of the Department of Highways, a little bit earlier, and he reports that all of the potholes that were reported that they were filled. But again, there's going to be some, as Brent admitted, there are going to be some that somebody's going to say, well, mine wasn't, maybe it wasn't properly reported or whatever. Maybe they missed one. We're talking about humans here. So I just thought it was a pretty ambitious statement by the governor when he made that. But that's generally speaking, and talking to Brent Walker, that's what they do anyway. June 1st is kind of that date, but they always say we like to try to have them filled. But we got more work to do. I completely understand. Text says, as a Democrat, we'd be stupid to change direction and get rid of Mike Pushkin as the party chair. We are finally starting to make some gains as the Republican Party continues to implode, says the texter. This is a reference. Early in the show, we interviewed Teresa Torres-Seva, who's been involved in the political scene for some time, ran for a few offices and whatnot. Had a good interview with her a little bit earlier during the 12 o'clock hour. She has stated that she plans on challenging the current state Democratic Party chair and delegate Mike Pushkin for that chairmanship. And we will have, in interest of fairness, we'll have Mike Pushkin on the show tomorrow. Text says, Dave, what are the chances the Republicans open the primary back up after the debacle? I don't know. I have been told by some insiders that, and look, you can, as a sports guy that I am, you can look at any numbers and you can manipulate them to say whatever you want. And coming out of this election, there are those that have said that closing the primary was great, and there are those that said it's terrible. John Findlay thinks that closing the primary it was a red herring, as he called it, no impact. Well, there are people that will that will argue with that. And you can make numbers say whatever you want them to say, one way or the other. And so to answer your question, Texter, I don't know. This is my personal opinion. I am a big believer that the Republican Party does not get to the place that they are now as a super duper majority in this state without the help of independents who tend to vote conservative and tend to vote Republican. That's just anecdotal on my part. I know I am a registered independent, a former Democrat, and a former Republican. Who, when I went out on election day to vote, I voted the nonpartisan races. I didn't ask for a Democrat ballot. I voted the nonpartisan. So there's one, just one. Text, great night for the mouth and ears last night. Proud WVU grad, Dave, says the texter. Text says all of the potholes are patched and Jim Justice is currently up on all of his bills. LOL. I think a little sarcasm there. Text, listening to the MAGA Republican guy Findlay, I get it. The Republican Party is divisive, racist, and ignorant. Locally, got their right to work, got their tax cuts, gave away education dollars to destroy public education. They know well that educated people vote Democrat. 10 years in, our economy continues to struggle. Our population is down, the only state continuing to lose, and educated people are leaving disproportionately. Coupled with being a friend of coal, recipe for stagnation and continued decline. They're not conservatives, nor is Trump. They're idiots, and they're destroying my home. Schools already closing, poor children going hungry, no clean water in southern West Virginia thanks to coal, hospitals closing within the next year. Conservatives' agenda for West Virginia, says a texter. Text says, if John Findlay is indicative of where we are headed politically in West Virginia, God help us. Let's focus on DEI and wokeness rather than anything that actually matters, says a texter. Text says, Trump is going to get exactly what he wants for his celebration, just him talking to himself and his minions. To the person, says the texter, trashing Pride Month yesterday, show me on the doll where the awful gay person hurt you. 20 minutes away from 3. Text, Dave, currently happening, West Virginia pothole crew currently patching 77 southbound above Goldtown. We all know this has been reported the last several years, and it's still rough as a corn cob and has unpatched holes. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Text, why did Findlay and the Smith camp get involved in the state executive committee races? Text, Dave, taxpayers should not have to give huge tax breaks to data centers and not get anything in return. Shareholders get it. All we get is the shaft. 19 minutes away from 3 o'clock. 1-800-765-TALK. That is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. It's a little thing we like to call Open Line West Virginia. We'll take a break and come back after this.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
The 2026 High School Baseball State Championship. 4 classes, 4 champions, 1 unforgettable day. From first pitch to final out, the 2026 West Virginia High School Baseball State Championship, presented by Toyota, Saturday, June 13th. Watch live on Metro News Television, Facebook, and YouTube. Available on mobile, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
D.W. Ruby Memorial Hospital is the top hospital in West Virginia, nationally recognized for 3 programs in 18 procedures and conditions. But to us, leadership means being first in care, in lives saved, in lives restored. In medicine, we lead in the ways that truly matter.
1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Ventures.
Welcome back to the show, 2:45 on a Tuesday afternoon. Metro News Midday powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Dave Allen in the host chair, Stephanie Pauly, Ryan Nicholson, our producers today. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Quick reminder about something we do here at WVRC Media Charleston every year. It's our annual Drop Your Snacks event happening Thursday, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. on our parking lot, 1111 Virginia Street East in Charleston, teaming up with the Union Mission to help feed kids during the summertime break. You can simply drop off your donations of non-perishable food items. We can also accept cash or check donations through Union Mission. Their website is wefeedpeople.com, and it's all presented to you by our hometown baseball team here in Charleston, the Charleston Dirty Birds. Now, if you are outside of the Charleston area and you're thinking, well, I'm not going to be able to make that. Although a couple of years ago, we were doing one of our events, and I don't remember whether it was the sock drop or which one it was, because we do a couple different events like this. The turkey drop, too. We had some folks from the Eastern Panhandle that drove all the way to Charleston with a truck full of stuff for us. They drove from the Eastern Panhandle all the way to the capital city. But if you don't want to go to that problem, you can go to the website, wefeedpeople.com. Now, what is it we're looking for? Well, let me give you an example. Granola bars, protein bars, individually wrapped crackers, goldfish crackers, pretzels, trail mix, popcorn, fruit snacks, applesauce pouches, raisins and dried fruit, shelf-stable pudding boxes, breakfast items, dry cereal, breakfast bars, protein-packed items, peanut butter crackers, tuna packets, mixed nuts, beef jerky, mac and cheese cups, ramen noodles, instant mashed potatoes, so on and so forth. You get the idea. Thanks to my coworker here in Charleston, Bobby Spry, for putting together that easy-to-follow for people like me list. So that's kind of what we are looking for. We'll be out on our parking lot here in Charleston this coming Thursday, 7 a.m. until 6 p.m. with the folks at Union Mission. You can go to the website, wefeedpeople.com, make your cash or check donations there. You can also come visit us here in our parking lot. But if you're not in Charleston, completely understand. But we want to help out. We want to try to help out. And Jason and the folks at Union Mission are fantastic partners in all this. And it really goes along, not to pat ourselves on the back, but that whole "we are proud to live here" too thing that you hear at the top of every hour. We're a West Virginia-based company who likes giving back to West Virginians. So that's as what we do. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Text: West Virginia still ranks at the bottom in education and college participation. Text: and yet again, Trump backs down. This time from his wanting to get a slush fund for January 6 people. This guy just doesn't get it. Text, our family was at the ball game the last 2 nights, and the Kentucky fans were unbearable. I'm glad they lost, says the texter. More than one person that said that. But, it's – and I wasn't at the ball game. I watched it on television like many of you did. There's always, in every crowd, there's always going to be a few bad ones. But, I mean, maybe they were majorly bad. I don't know. I wasn't there. But just based on talking to a couple of people, it seemed like that there may have been a few bad. But it happens. It happens in sports, unfortunately. Text says, Dave, can't wait for change in West Virginia. Going to vote Democrat this November. Well, that is certainly your right, and I appreciate anybody who takes the time to vote. Look, the State Democratic Party is going to have their hands full this fall. And in interviewing Teresa Torrevesa earlier in the show, who plans on challenging the current Democratic Party chair, Mike Pushkin, for that chairmanship, look, she said, are we going to turn this state around right away? No, any more than what the Republican Party. It took them 83 years, for the Republican Party to turn around. Not saying it's going to take the Democrats that long. I'm just saying that I do not see, looking into the crystal ball here, I do not see the red wave in West Virginia turning back anytime soon. I could be wrong. I've been wrong many, many times before, but I don't see it. But I could have been wrong before. Text says, Dave, I like to follow national politics. How dumb does Gavin Newsom have to be to think someone would vote for a Californian for president? Well, they certainly voted for Californians before, but in the current state, I don't know. Text, please read our lips. No one wants data centers. Well, obviously someone does. Some people do. Text says, why is it okay for Republicans to use DEI to hire but not Dems? Example, Hegseth, not qualified. Bondi, RFK, Dr. Oz. But that's okay. Well, I don't know if they use DEI to hire any of those people. Most people that throw around the term DEI don't even know what it means. I don't mean that toward the texter. I mean, they just throw these things around. Text, all you people screaming that Biden wasn't fit to stay in office, where are you now that Trump is withering away? Says the texter. I don't know that he's withering away, but there are times that you look and you think, well, I don't know about this. But while we're at it, I don't know why I torture myself by doing this, but I do. Every Sunday morning, I watch a lot of the talking head shows, the news shows. I watch the This Week show and always try to tune over and watch Steyerwalt. If I'm gone, I'll record it or Meet the Press or something like that. And to political figures, I would say, just do me a favor, okay? On either side of the aisle. I'm an equal opportunity offender on this, okay? Equal opportunity. Can you do your best to get out of bed one morning, if you are pro-Trump, to get out of bed one morning and have a conversation and not mention the words Biden or Obama? Now, conversely, if you tend to be liberal, if you tend to be progressive, can you have a political discussion without talking horribly about Donald Trump? Because it seems like in this country, this is all we live for anymore. Is look what three different guests on some of the Sunday morning shows talked about the high prices of gas in America, and it's still less than it was under Biden. Well, that's great, but when somebody pulls into their sheets over here and they're trying to scrape together a little bit of money to get home or to get to work, they really don't care that they're more now. The gas was more under Biden than what it is now. They care about the present time. Just saying, do a better job of living in the moment, both sides, and not constantly referencing the other side. Text says, West Virginia has not brought manufacturing jobs since the Democrats lost power. Where are all the jobs Republican promised? Mason County, for one. Mason County, Jackson County. Text, why is it every June we have this pride stuff shoved down our throats? I'm not gonna take the bait on this whole. June is Pride Month, and we all know what that means. It means basically that people are going to yell and scream at each other over a rainbow in the month of June. You do you. You do you. Text, I assure you, Governor Morrissey did not fix every pothole in West Virginia. Text, you people crying about data centers. We need them. If you don't like them, put down your phones. Says a texture. Texas Republicans say DEI means hiring people not qualified for the job. Well, I mean, look, we all know people that got jobs they weren't qualified for. Look at your host here. Go ahead and throw myself under the bus. I don't care. But I don't think that was just because you are hired for a job you're not qualified for doesn't mean it's a DEI program. All right. 2:53. We'll wrap it up after this.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
What does it mean to lead in medicine? J.W. Ruby Memorial Hospital is the top hospital in West Virginia, nationally recognized for 3 programs in 18 procedures and conditions. But to us, leadership means being first in care, in lives saved, in lives restored. In medicine, we lead in the ways that truly matter.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
With Metro News Hotline. If it's trending, it's probably here.
And then the other thing, his last name is one of those weird Norwegian names where they have 2 vowels that slam into each other. It's like the A and the E are like cemented into each other.
You're like the 12th Dave that works here. What do you think people from Norwegian think about that?
That is fair.
Join Dave Weekly and Coop weekdays for Hotline on Metro News Television.
Welcome back to the show. The big time things that go on between radio talk show hosts in the transition period here. Mr. Weekly is with us. We were having a in-depth discussion on only the finer things in life and Fritos.
And mustard.
I was telling him how my wife, as a snack of hers, she likes just regular Fritos and mustard.
So she puts the mustard on the Fritos, or she dip it into the.
She dips it in the Fritos.
I'm gonna have to try that. I love Fritos.
Yeah,
I love mustard.
I'm a chili cheese Fritos kind of guy. That's my favorite. But you can't go wrong with Fritos.
I was telling you in the break that to get the deal at Kroger this weekend, I had to buy 4 bags of Fritos. I had to make like an $11 investment in Fritos. I'm swimming in Fritos.
How many do you have? How many bags do you have left now?
That's a good point. I did have Fritos, a handful of Fritos for lunch. I'll probably have Fritos for every meal for the next couple months.
Yeah, Fritos with your Rice Krispies in the morning, right?
Right.
Oh, by the way, there was a ball game in Morgantown last night.
Yeah, how about that, man? That's so.
I don't know if you heard that, and I'll give this a listen.
In the center field, it gets down around third is Kresser. Cue Country Roads. West Virginia wins it in 10.
You know, I've noticed people giving Tom Hart kind of a hard time.
Really?
Yeah, he works for the SEC network. I thought he was fine.
I thought he did a good job.
Fine. Yeah, I agree. I think he's fine.
I told, and you can choose to believe this or not. All right, I'm watching the game last night, and I told my wife, and Guzman came up to the plate. I said, he's going to end it right here. And my wife was like, yeah, okay, because she wasn't really paying attention. Next thing I said, I told you. I don't know what it was, but I felt when he walked up to the plate, I told my wife, and she'll attest to this, I said, Guzman's going to end this right here.
You could have used your smartphone and put a couple of shekels on that.
There you go. All right. You're coming up with that little show that you guys do.
With the thing that we do. Hey, you know whose birthday anniversary it is?
Who's that?
The originator of the Lazy Boy.
All right.
So we're going to talk about your favorite chair and what you like about it. What makes it work.
I'll see you tomorrow. Till then, have fun and love somebody.